Hey, how you doing? What we're gonna do is go over a couple of my games that I played, and then we'll start into our tactics. Go over one game, I mean. Okay. E4, A6, D bishop there, and then D5. So he takes Queen E2, and then F5. He played D3, bishop. Knight to F6. This is so that when he takes, I can actually take. Queen B5 check. And I think at this point, I'm not sure if I can play knight here. I'm thinking knight C6 might not be a bad move. And then if queen can't come in here, and if he tries here, then I have queen up there, and maybe something like this, and or maybe I'll just take with my bishop at that point, and then I'd be up a whole pawn. So queen takes, bishop takes. Now I go after his bishop. I take the bishop. He takes the pawn, my knight. Oops, sorry. Here, bishop takes, knight knight to f6, or knight to c6. Then he castled. I played bishop c5 check. He played knight f there, and I castled at this point here. But I'm wondering if I couldn't have maybe tried something like this, and then after here, I don't know, something here, and then just tried to take scope on that pawn. Or maybe playing there, then that could have been what would have been played. So castles, and then bishop to g5. I played e5 here to try to cement down. He played c3, and I played f4. And at this point, I believe I could actually pick up a piece. b4. I take. King takes. h6. g5. Bishop e3. Rook d2. Bishop took. So there's really no way. If he tries takes, I'd be up a whole piece and a pawn. And he could potentially try to get out via here. Then I got that. Maybe something in there. We'll look at our other one here. We had a 5-minute casual blitz, and then I did a rapid. This one's a lot more fun. a4, a6. He played the same move again. Takes. played a5. He took with the king at this point. And at this point, I'm going for my I'm going for the knuckles. He should have actually at this point played here. After pushing, he could have retreated back there. I don't think I would have pushed. I probably would have played Barry and tried to get Carl going. Takes. Takes. I develop my knight. Knight comes in. I castle. So now I'm up a piece. I go after his bishop. Then he moves. And if you notice how my pieces are just getting better and better, and he's just using one piece to attack. I'm trying to see if I can't infiltrate in here and then attack down there. Rook to e2, bishop d. So that was a mistake because of a pin there I took. Takes. I took there. I took the pawn there. I'm going after his bishop. Did I take? I actually could take the bishop if I wanted to and get rid of it. I think potentially I think it was okay to take the bishop. I was 3 pieces up. I thought I'd just get rid of it. I think at this point I could have just choked down with this check here, and after that just come in via this way. And if he tries something like this, we're getting close to something to do with this here, and maybe come back via into there. H3. I just thought about just developing my king. There we go. And that was mate. Are we ready? Alright. Let's head on in. Oh boy, this should be fun. Okay, we're in the puzzles now, so that's good. trying to figure out what is the drawback to that move. Let me see. I want to win the rook, so bishop takes h8. But the problem is rook e2, and he's threatening mate on that at that point. I don't really like that idea. It's kind of like, what do we do? That's a pain in the drain. We may try maybe bishop g3. If queen tries to go to e3, queen e3, we do have rook e1. Well, that'd be interesting. Hey, nice. That does make sense. let's see, rook g2. That is a interesting move for sure. Rook g2. Let me see here. What could our opponent play? Well, I guess you're right. Queen. He might. Well, if rook g2, would rook takes, queen takes, g2, king takes g2, and rook takes e5. I think that's right. I think we win a queen for 2 rooks. I think this is the line that it goes down. I was just making sure that we were right on the. Okay, so there. So here, this is what would actually. Oops. So it moves there. Takes, and then rotates e5. Probably queen g1, and potentially an attack via along there. But long-term goals. Okay, dokie. So rook front from rook b2 to a2. It's relying on black's relying on the pin of the queen. So maybe if we take advantage of that, could we potentially play bishop c1? Bishop c1 maybe. That attacks the let's see, bishop c1, queen b4. We have bishop takes a2. Queen goes to c3, check, and then king e2 maybe. What do you think about that? So you're saying bishop c1, queen b4, bishop takes f7. We have knight takes f7 though. So we're right with bishop b. We're right on this one so far, so good. Oh wow. Then rook takes b2. Rook takes b2 then has to be the next response to that. Oh, gotcha. Nice discovery. Hey, high five. Boom. Good job. You're right. You win a nice work. That wins a queen for sure. Nice job. Nice. Great job, Yuri. So I think we take now. Let's just grab it. Nice. That was a quick one. We're doing good now. These are starting to become good for us. So let's see what we can spot more. Let's see if we can spot more of the great patterns to learn from. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how do we want to. Boy, I so badly want to somehow get my queen on d5, so that 1 second, so that I can do a discovery like what you talked about with the bishop. That'd be great for us. Let's see here. So now we know for sure queen c6 check, king b8 forced, and maybe we can play a5 after that. Queen c6 check, king b8, a5 maybe. Or maybe we can do a5 now. No, that would be a check on I know this works. I don't know what I'm trying to figure out how to handle this. I know that's the only forced move, because what would happen is the queen would come to e7 if you didn't. Now you have a protection, but okay. Oh boy. I'm looking to see if a5 isn't a move. Let me see here. Well, there is potentially knight d8, but that allows check f4 on f4. Boy. There's queen d6. Queen d6. Ooh, that might work. Yeah, let's do queen d6. Let's do that. That'll work. Queen d6. If king b7, then we got knight d8, check fork. So he has to stay. He has to stay on the back rank. So, yeah, I think we got this. Now we got. I know what to do now. Now we can actually potentially. Okay, now that we got here, let's see. Check. I have to make sure. Just one more calculation. Queen d8 check. So we're good so far. King b7, knight c5 check, mate. I believe that's checkmate. See, that's covered. That's covered. Nope, the king could come here. So c5 isn't checkmate. It would be check. And then let's see, what can we do after that? So knight c5, king c6, b5. Maybe, potentially, but we want to try to keep as much attack as we can get. Oh, drat. Okay, so there's a sacrifice here. Interesting. That's interesting. Should have spotted that. There's a sacrifice on here. Queen takes b6. Check. Huh? That should have been right in my radar. b6. And knight d8. Check. King c7. And knight takes f7. Yeah, the sacrifice. You have to always be on the lookout for sacrifice. Oh, let's see. There. Oh yeah, we push the a pawn. Okay, now we have mate. This is mate. There's a way that we can get the same type of setup after here. Boom, boom. If he doesn't take with the king but takes with the pawn, this actually happens. But if he takes with the king, you have pawn. If he comes back, you still have the same problem. And if he comes back here, oh, he can't come back there. If he comes back here, you get the same type of fork. There we go. So that was beautiful. Beautiful. Just gotta keep we gotta keep our eyes out for sacrifice, stuff like that. That was like right there. We have to be in the zone of focus. Let me see here. Okay, I have an idea. Bishop takes f3, check. If queen takes f3, we have rook a2, which threatens mate. So I'm kind of taking a look at that. Or can we do that right away? I'm wondering if we can't play rook a2 right now. Rook a2, and if queen takes a2, bishop takes f. I don't think so. Bishop takes f3, check, and he's good. He's safe. Actually, he's not safe. Ooh, that is that. I was wrong. He's not safe. He'd actually have to intercept with the queen. Yeah. Rook a2 is the move we like. Yep, rook a2. So we got the line. Let's go with it. Let's go with our line. And now if we play, let's see here. If we play bishop. Oh, I didn't think he was going to do that. I thought he was going to take with the queen. Okay. That did not work for my line. We have to recalibrate our line again. Let's see here. Yeah, it's true. Let's see then. Bishop rook takes d2. Bishop takes d2. Let's see. How do we? Takes d2. Bishop takes d2. Bishop takes f3. Queen takes f3. d2. Bishop takes d2. Ooh, bishop takes b1. I missed that you can actually grab a bishop over there. Oh. No. Hey, how you doing? What am I missing? Oh, don't tell me, is that? No, okay, I'm kind of puzzled at this point. Oh, rook attacks. Interesting. That's interesting. So then we take here. Okay. And then I guess we could, nope, we can't take there. We didn't take there? Okay. Wow, let's give that another shot. That was crazy. Crazy cool. I think the reason that the taking of the rook doesn't work here, I know you're probably thinking, why can't after that and takes, why can't you play here, right? Well, then the queen is now protecting here, and so this would actually end with mate anyways. So it would end with mate. So that's okay. Hey, can't get them all right. You gotta at least gotta push yourself to the limit. Push yourself to the limit as much as you can. It's the only way you're gonna get better. I'm thinking about. I know this is like knight f4. Knight f4 is an interesting move. That threatens mate. But I think if knight f4, could he play just g3 and then say to us, yeah, we did it together as a team. Yeah, we're going for 2,800 now. So I'm glad you're here to help us on the journey onward and upward. As a team, we can do it. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Um, um, Queen takes. Let's see. Queen takes G. Queen takes G2. King takes G2. Knight. Knight F4. Check. King would have to go back to G. King would have to go back to G1, and then knight H3 mate. I think that's. I'm not sure if that leads to mate or not. I think it does. Yep. So we're going to be going with our idea of F. Let's do it. Okay, here is the situation. Do we want to we could play knight E2 check, or bishop takes. Oh, we have to take. We're a check, so we have to decide. Do we want to take knight knight F takes D5, or bishop takes D5? We gotta decide which one. I think we're on with something. Yeah, I'm thinking bishop takes d5 would be better, because that leaves us knight e2 check, which forks the r and the k. That leaves knight e2 check for us to play too, if he doesn't want to go for that. Like if he goes f3, if he plays f3 after that, we have knight e2 and we pick up a rook. So we're just gobbling up material galore. Yeah, let's go with it. I'll show you. We'd win tons of material if your opponent gets frustrated. Oh, this is what we were talking about here. Is if you play here, then you can actually, like what Erie talked about, knight h3 is mate with this standard bishop and knight mate setup. So you had to actually take after this. You have to play check, I believe here. This is a forced. And then here, if he plays f3, you still have mate, so that doesn't matter. So you're winning either way. It's a mate too. Great work. Okay, dokie. I vaguely remember this. I think we did this one before. Try to remember how it actually went down though. Oh, sorry. What did you want to look at? Yeah, Erie. Okay, I'll write that down. All right, we'll go back and check that out. I wrote it down so I won't forget it. here we go. Okay. I'm wondering if we don't play rook e8, rook e6. I was considering that, but rook e6 if let's say rook takes d7. Rook takes d7. Oh, rook can't take d7. If rook takes e6, because there's one that's pinned. Oh, well, let me see which rook could take. It doesn't matter, I guess. Whatever rook you do play. Because if the g rook takes, then you queen. If the d rook takes e6, you queen d8. Wow. Surprisingly, that actually works. Wow. This move actually works, surprisingly. Whoa. That's impressive right there. And at this point, so if he played after rook e6, king c7, maybe we could play rook takes d6 here, and if king takes d6, we have d8 check. So d8 equals queen check, sorry. I have to, yeah, equals queen check. That's what I mean. So if rook takes d6, rook takes d6, we have g8 equals queen. So we get a queen either way. So let's either way we're gonna get a queen. One with check. Here we go. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's not. Is it rook? Oh, it's not up here, is it? I'm puzzled. What did I miss? Oh, here? Ah. Okay. That's different. I have a question on that. That one's puzzling. Let's see. We go here, here. Ah, it's a mate in one. That's the reason, mate in one. Get us onto a puzzle. Hold on. That was interesting there. Yeah. So that's the reason we actually had to move the rook down. Oops. There we go. I'll get us onto a puzzle. Hold on. Here we go. see here. Rook. So rook takes f4. Knight takes their check. That was a good try. You know what? It did. You know what? If the knight hadn't have taken g6, that would be a good. That would be really strong. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I looked at that. That's the only difference. Otherwise, it would win material. So g5. I'm trying to see what's. I look at g5. Let me see here. Oh, that wins a queen, doesn't it? Okay, g5. Then queen takes f6. Rook takes f6. I got rook takes f6. Now queen takes f6. That's interesting. So queen g5. I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so then gotta make sure this is right. Let's see. Rook takes f6. Rook takes f6. Queen takes, you win a piece. So that should be right. Queen takes f6. Actually, rook takes f6. And rook takes f6. Queen takes f6. I believe that's the right line. What do you guys think about that? Are we all in on rook takes f6? What do you think about that? Rook takes f6, and that rook takes f6 and queen takes. Are we in agreement on that? Okay, good. We're all in. All right, perfect. Okay, there we go. But actually, what I was looking at was this line here. Okay, after he goes, knight takes here, g6, and of course, if he takes here, you get a back rank mate, so he can't take. The only thing that he can do is actually take here, here, and then if here, now you're up this material here, and you can't take this pawn, and you're attacking there. So that's a really good puzzle. Let's see here. Just trying to leave a spot for his king to flee to. So there's a couple moves that potentially could be played. One is queen d2. One is queen d2. Then if I guess rook g8 check could be playable at that point. So you got to be careful there. We could potentially win a rook. There's bishop h3, but I don't. Do we want to win a rook or do we want to check? Bishop h3 could pick up a rook. I'm open for suggestions. See, I'm trying to. The reason I thought queen. Oh, queen. Oh, interesting. Nice. That's an interesting line. That does that does stop a lot. It cuts him off from going to e2, and you're still threatening rook h1 check, rook g2, and bishop h3 mate. So yeah, that's a really nice move. Oh wow, he played that. Okay. Okay, so he played so g3 by our opponent. Let me see here. Queen takes f3, queen takes f3 check. If king g1, I think that messes everything up. Rook h1. Yeah, it was the only problem is king g1 courageous, and we don't have any more attacks, so we have to actually see what we have for. We have 3 pieces. We got to involve all the pieces into the fight. So that was actually not a bad idea. That was my first look, was throwing in the most powerful piece. So, but sometimes it's the subtle move that you don't expect. Like a rook check could actually be a very powerful move. Like we need to now check our other check. We have 2. So the queen takes f3 doesn't give us anything. So let's try rook h1 check. King to f7 or f2. King f2. And we do have, let me see, do we have queen h4 check. If rook g3, we have queen to h2. No, that wouldn't work. Would that work? No, that wouldn't work. I'm gonna go queen h2. We might have to play rook rook h2, but I know that king I'm trying to think if that might not be the line. I'm looking to see. They could block with the rook, but I think that would lose though. Trying to visualize if he goes up to f2, queen h4, rook g3. We check. Oh, if we check on h2, then he goes back to g1. Oh, we have bishop h3. Okay, yeah, this I see it now. So g3, bishop. No, sorry. Rook h2 check. If king goes back to, well, I guess f1 we'd take with the queen, wouldn't we? King f1. We could play queen takes g3 at that point. So we'd actually win material. Then we could bring our light square bishop in. That'd be really nice at that point. So he'd probably block. So let's calculate in rook h1 check, king g1, not king g1, rook g1. Bishop h3 check, king to f2, and then do we have queen h4? Queen h4 check. Okay, let's go with rook h1 now. We have all the lines. Okay, so he plays up there. Okay, so we have we now have the idea of queen h4 idea, and if rook goes to Yeah, skewer is always a nice thing to have. But I think our line of queen h4 check, rook g3, king, rook h2. Yep, this should be right. Yep. And we'll take a look at the line, because we spent a good amount of time on the line. It would be a wise decision to do that. Okay. Good job on finding h5 though. That was a vital move. After up here, queen h5. It comes up here. Rook h2, like what we talked about. Here, queen takes. Oh, bishop. Okay, so they're wanting bishop h3. Okay, bishop h3. If rook takes here, that's mate. So king g1, and then there's your mate. All right. So we got to remember this. This move here, this is a mate in 5, I believe. Rook e8, bishop takes. Here, queen takes check. King there. Queen h8. That's mate 5. But mate in 3 is actually bishop takes, check, there, and then we mate. That's mate 3. Why wasn't... Oh, you want to check that out. Okay. Well, the whole reason is based on this here. We don't have this check anymore. He covers these squares, and then next he can actually start sealing up his weak points. He's already got this sealed up here and that sealed up. If he can get his rook to f1, he can get his whole king side sealed up, especially when all of his major pieces offside. We actually have all of our forces in the fight. Sometimes it's the most straightforward move. Actually, this looks like it doesn't work, but if you work it out enough, it's a mate 5. This one actually helps white get ahead. Surprisingly, one decision can ruin everything. So, did I answer your question? Did I answer your question? Okay, good, perfect. Because I wanted, if you have any more, just put them in and we'll keep pushing away. We'll keep learning. That's the whole point, is improving and learning. Let's see here. It's a lot easier when all the major pieces are on one side of the board, and then you can basically do a lot of damage here. But now that everything is basically centralized, we have to look for a compilement of different ideas, or a compilation of different ideas here. What comes out to me is queen takes f3, because then we're emphasizing the pin on the knight. That's an idea. And we can then play knight takes. I believe that's actually the winning move, but I am waiting to see if do you have the same idea? Because I want to make sure that I'm calculating this right. I'm trying to see here. So queen takes f3. The knight can't take d5 because the queen would be lost by the bishop takes d8. And if queen goes up to d7, we can actually play bishop takes f6. If bishop takes f6, then knight takes f and we win. Yeah. Okay, so he took there. Alright. Let's see here. Bishop takes f6. No, then queen takes, knight takes f3. That wouldn't work. Knight takes f6. Bishop takes. And there'd still be a pin, so that wouldn't work. We'd have to move our queen. That's both those takes, the knight and the bishop, don't work. So the only piece we could do is potentially a sacrifice with queen takes f6. So let's try that out. Queen takes f6. If bishop takes f6, knight takes f6, check. King h8. Yeah, we got to. The reason bishop takes f6 doesn't work is when black takes back with the knight, it's with check. So this is the only way kind of to set up for it. Now we have to consider what do we want to take with. Because the queen takes is the only move. Yeah, it's with check. Yeah, it's a Zwischenzug type of move that our opponent could actually play in their knight takes f3 is Zwischenzug move, or an in-between move. It's German, which means in-between move. That makes sense because there's actually mate 2 here. Bishop takes f6, and then knight e7 mate. So let's see, do we have anything that could cause any problems in our position? Let's see here. Knight takes f6, check. King g7, and then knight g4 would hold, I believe. Yeah, don't really see anything wrong with that move, because then after he checks on, he could potentially win a pawn on c2, but actually after king g7, knight, I guess knight could actually go back to d5. Well, do we want to go to d5? We potentially could, then we can win a pawn on c7. That'd be interesting. Oh, lesser pieces. Very interesting position here. Okay. I'm looking at potentially a couple knight moves. There's actually like 3 different moves that you could potentially do. There's knight e8 check, or knight h5 check, or even this kind of silly looking h8 check, h8 equals queen check. We wouldn't want to do that, but you know, you never know. You always got to be on guard. Yeah, knight e8 is actually the best move. I'm with you on that. Okay. I was looking at king h6, but I don't think that's it. I'm thinking we have to move in closer, so I'm thinking about king f6, knight g8. That means with check. So yeah, that's the best there. Yep. And I believe he would have to go to g8. Let's take a quick look at that endgame. Okay. Well, they were having a little problem on their side. It was the PGN file didn't want to come up, so I didn't want to risk, ruining our streak or anything with anything happening to the internet or anything. So it showed a red, we're having a problem mark. So I was like, leave that alone. We kind of get the idea. We would take with, you just take with the G pawn, and your right is reign, and you just win at that point. Okay, dokie. Queen takes f7, check. Yep. Queen takes f7, check. King h8. Good job so far. Let me see here. And then rook takes a1. But let's see. And then rook, it should be rook takes a1. I think that actually wins material. Thinking that that's it, but I'm just making sure. Well, you gotta always keep in mind rook takes a1 is a good idea, so you gotta give it a shot. That would be a good idea. Let's see if the PGN's working now. Please work. Okay, good. This one's working. Yeah, after here, that was actually a mistake. I think they could have held with rook to e1. Rook e1 actually is winning, I believe. Yep. It shows you one move can turn the whole tide. This was a double question mark because of here, and now the queen hangs. So that was a double question mark right there, which means blunder. there's only been like once, I think, one triple question mark in chess history. I'm not sure if there's been a triple question mark one, but I think probably there has been. That if anything, that would be a triple question mark because that was a 16 pawn disadvantage like that, kaboom like that. It switched from 8 negative to for our opponent to an 8 positive for us. That's like a triple question mark. Whew. Wow, wow, wow. So we got to be careful with our move sequences. Okay, Doki. But great work on spotting queen takes f7 though, Courage. So great work on that. Let's see here, I'm looking. Huh. What to do, what to do. Queen h5. Queen h5 check. King. We'll say g3. Rook f6. If king, well, probably if rook f g6, we'd probably play queen g4 check to push him back, then mate. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So now now what we'd have to do, because he didn't go for g3, we'd have to play rook f6 would be a good move. And then if he played rook h1, rook g6 check, king f1, queen d1 check, queen e1. So you have to always consider, do you want to push him back? So that the move we just proposed, rook e6, actually is not a winning move. But if we shove the queen to the king back, so queen h4 or g4 check, let's say king h2, rook f6, now does set up a mating threat. So you just gotta explore those lines, and now you can bring the rook up and over. Rook f6, and potentially, yeah, rook f6, queen takes f6, and well, I guess we got to be careful on that, because he can actually, if we play g takes f6, he's got rook g1. So yikesies, yikesies. We got to be really on our toes here. Oh boy. Let me see here. Maybe it's perpetual. It could be perpetual at that point. Oh. What? I don't get it. Don't tell me. Oh. Drat. We won't let that happen again. Okay, let's get on to this. I was surprised on that. let's make sure we do this 100% better. Oh boy, that's an interesting move for sure, where all of our pieces are. Let's see, rook. I'm trying to figure this one out here. Let me see. Boy, there's really not much you can actually do. I'm thinking that, see if rook takes b1. Well, the queen would take back at that point. Yeah, queen takes g4 check. Yeah, so we have to consider there's d2, there's rook takes b1, there's rook takes d1, oh, that works too. So that you had the right idea, Courage. We just had to throw in rook from 1 to actually c4 move. And at this point, if queen takes d3, which that's probably what he'd play, we have queen takes g4 check. So that's not a bad idea there. Whoa. So rook takes. Let's see here. Oh, I got it. Now the idea of queen takes g4. Oh, rook takes. Are you sure? Oh yeah, that does work. Okay. Well, rook takes e4, rook takes d7, and then rook takes g4 check, king f1, and rook takes g5. That's right. Yeah, good job. That's right. Thinking that's right. Let me just make sure. See there. Yeah, I believe that's right. Rook takes g4, check, king f1, rook takes g5. And even if he takes the pawn, we're up a whole piece. So, yeah, that makes it. Well, rook takes. Okay. There we go. Good work. But you did find the right type of setup, though, Courage. So about the G pawn, it just was a couple moves later that we had to set up for it. So we're doing good, doing really good. I'm I'm trying to figure out. I want to play bishop f6 check. That's what I want to play, but I'm not sure. We could actually play. No, I was thinking bishop c7 is a good move, check, but then king d4. Trying to figure out a way how to get the queen. We gotta win the queen somehow, or at least mate. So how to do that? How to do that? c6. c6. Queen a5 is an interesting move, but c6. If b takes c6, but c6 makes a lot of sense here because he takes, and now you've opened up a whole diagonal setup here for your bishop. I just want to make sure it works. Oh, king d3 I think wins. Thinking something like king d3 potentially might actually win here. Oh, bishop c7 check. Okay, bishop c7. So bishop c7 check. King d4. I'm just trying to see how do we make it actually work though. Bishop c7. I'm not sure if it actually does work. Bishop c7. I'm looking. It looks right, but king d4 here, and what do we do then? Are we all in on? Are we right on there? Huh. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. His only move would be then to, yeah, the idea of bishop a5 actually works here. Okay, there's the skewer. Bishop b6 at this point. Bishop b6 is it wins the queen. Yep. Actually, nope. Sorry, it doesn't win the queen. My bad. Well, yes, b6 does, because then we have to do bishop b6, c5, bishop takes c5, king takes c5, knight e4, check. So it takes. That made sense. All right. Yeah, we're working together good as a team. Great job. Okay, let's see what we got. I'll we okay, I'll do that. Hold on here. I'll go back and get the link for you. I'm thinking, how do we, okay, stats. I'll get that link for you so that you can look at it. I have to figure out though. Ah, here we go. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I think it might have to do with it. Ah, here we go. Ah, what's it doing? Hold on, let me make sure that I'll be on the right one. King e5. Okay, good. I'll get this download for you. One sec. Oops. Ah. How you doing? Oh, come on. For real? Is it really gonna do this tonight? Computers sometimes are a pain. How you doing? Oops, I have to type in. Hopefully this works. No, don't stall at me. Come on. All right. Let me pull up a new board here, and I'll get that posted for you. Come on, don't lag on me now. There we go. I'll exit out of that. Maybe if I lessen the tabs. Come on. Come on. It's a little slow tonight, my computer. We'll get it though. We'll get it. Yeah, and what the Lord says, patience is a virtue. Sometimes he tries your patience so that you could have a virtue of patience. And he could see how much he could try you. He never tempts you. He tries you. And you know what? Some of the things we think like are like huge aren't. So like we'll get this pulled up. We're almost to 2,800, so that's a great thing. We just have to wait for a second for this to come up. Let me delete this tab out and then see if I can't pull up one more and see if it works now. Okay, there we go. Had a little hiccup there for a second. Now we're in working condition. Loving it. All right. Thank you for all your patience with my machine and everything. We'll get a game set up, and I'll get that posted for you, Courageous. Oops. Huh. Let me try it now. We'll try it on this one. Just give me a second. This is one of the viewers wanted to actually see this here, so let's paste it in. Okay, perfect. Ah, nice. Did I do this right? Wait a second. Sorry about that. Let me make sure that this is working. Sorry about this. About this is kind of a little. It's becoming a little headache here, but we'll get it. Well, you're just gonna have to remember that it's oops here. Oops. I think I moved it so it works. So copy. Here we go. Let's see if it actually comes up right. Hold on. You have to move the Black King. Black King King to, I believe, E5. You have to move the Black King to E5. For some reason it wouldn't do anything but that. So move the black king to e5. Okay, so now let's see what I got for a game that we can go over in the French defense. Alrighty, let's see, what do we got here? So, sorry about that. Every time I tried to get it to move, it wouldn't configure right. It used to do that on the old platform, but it's not doing that now for some reason. Let me see, what do we have here? This is an interesting game. We'll take a look at this one. It ended in a draw, so let's take a look at it. I'm black, and it's a French advanced variation. E4, E6, D4, D5, E5, C5, and A3, which is kind of an odd move, so I just took. Queen takes and knight C6. Queen F4, Queen C7. Knight EG. Queen G. Bishop D7 now. Took. Knight BD7. So I'm actually, I think I'm up. I think we're at equal pawns, yeah. But I have a really good setup, so. Knight5, queen takes, rook takes, and it's an interesting position, but I don't know if it's good for white, for black in that line, so. And so I picked up a pawn. Oh, I get my king involved. So it went to an endgame really fast. Really, really fast. So I'm thinking that maybe let's see here. What would have actually been? What would have been a better move? I'm just curious. So, okay, so that was correct. He moved here. So I played C. So, okay, this one. Oh, wait a second. So this was actually right. So I did the right move. B3. Okay. Not taking, but actual. Okay. So when I played actually B. Okay, so B4 is good. Is that what I was thinking? So B4. He played pawn takes. Rook takes. That's the problem. Rook takes. So the whole idea was, okay, if I would have taken with my pawn, okay, if I would have taken with my pawn rather than my rook, that this would have been a, and then I could have protected with rook e7 at this point, and this is covered, and this is still ready to rockety roll. Okay, I have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I kind of, he did a draw at this point. I'm thinking that here, I'm not sure if, yeah, I made a mistake there. This is actually winning right now. And then here, trying to think, how do I win it? Okay, then here, now mate 3, okay. Because of discovery. Pawn push here, and queen check, okay. And then now we have to be careful about our pins. So yeah, that's an interesting setup for sure. Let's see here, how are we doing on time? Probably I'm gonna propose, do you have any games? Otherwise I'm probably gonna log for the night. Do you have any games that you want to go over? That was an interesting, it all came down to a pawn take in that one game. That's how close games actually become in chess. One wrong slip up. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Lord's giving me a gift and I get to share it with you. One sec. I'm gonna just let it go out there just for a sec. I'll be right back. And when I come back, if there's no game, put on there, because I'm gonna give you a second. Because sometimes my stream is a little slow, and I'll wait for just about a minute. I'll be right back. We all do. End game is important. I wanted to ask, so what end game area do you want to work on? Because I can set up I can do some end game training. What end game would you like to work on? Courage. Everything. So where do you wanna start? Where would be a good starting spot? You want to work on the rooks, rook and king mate, queen and king mate, double rook mate, that type of setup, or you want to work on like how to like king movements, everything. Okay, I could do that. I could set up a thing. We can do some of that tomorrow. So I have a really good Jeremy Silman's Endgame one, and I'll get a setup on that so that we can go over it. I'll get the notation in and everything, and we'll work on some Endgame. How does that sound? Do you what do you think about that? Great. All right. Well then, okay, we'll do that tomorrow then. So we'll do one end game lesson, or maybe two. I'll see how much time I have when I come home, and then I'll put together at least one, and we'll work on our end game every night. Okay then. I wanted to thank you all for logging on and helping out. We're so close to 2,800, so we're like as they say, a stretch of a neck away on the tortoise and the hare from the finish line of 2,800. We become what we think about. E. Nightingale. That's a good one. Every long journey begins with one small step. So that was from Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan. And Bruce Lee said that he fears not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but he fears the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So when we're doing our like endgame studies, our tactics and game studies, we need to always be on our toes and keep practicing so that when we sit down at that board, we won't make mistakes, we won't move fast, we'll move efficiently. And I remember what Tango's on Mission Critical, Tom Thumb Thumb says, you need to treasure your victories and learn from your losses. So treasure your victories and learn from your losses. And remember that mistakes do not define you. It is how you handle the mistake that defines you as a chess player and as a person in general. Bruce Lee also said that knowing is not enough, you must apply, and willing is not enough, you must do. So you have to take that and apply that to your life, and you'll improve in all your areas. And he also has one that there are no limits, there are plateaus, and you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. He believed in that to stretch your potential. So if we need to always be striving to stretch our minds, like when you go to the fitness center and work out, you're lifting weights so that you can build muscles. But during that time that you're building, it kind of sounds counterintuitive, but your muscles actually slightly smallly tear. And then what happens is those tears heal and your muscles get bigger. So like when we kind of get headaches from maybe doing chess puzzles, or you get frustrated or stuff like that, you're stretching your mental muscle. and that takes time to grow. So be patient with yourselves. That's what Bruce Lee would probably. I can't speak for Bruce Lee, but that's kind of what I would think that he would probably want to say to you, that you know what, we have to be patient with ourselves, understand that we're human. The Lord didn't make us perfect. He's the only perfect. So, and if that's the case, we're going to make mistakes, but if we learn from them, like the saying goes, if you learn from them, you're not doomed to repeat them again. So, just always remember that. And let me see, did I forget? Oh, yeah, I have my quote that I like. Don't give up, get up. Don't give up, get up. And when you're studying, we'll end with this, and others are playing and they come over and ask what you're doing, you're a chest cruncher. You could always say that. What do chest crunchers do? We hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study when most won't. We do. And that makes all the difference. Over the board, it makes difference in your life. Trust me, even in school, if you sit down and study when most won't, you do. So that's why chess helps in all areas of your in areas, even in your work. It can't but help. But we always have to remember one thing, that the Lord will give us stuff that he won't give us stuff that we can't handle. So the Lord giveth. That's why he giveth. And if we're not responsible and respectful to the gifts that he's given, he'll take them away from us. Because you know what? We don't respect him. If we respect him and use him for his will, he'll keep giving us that gift. And that's what the rating of close to 2,800 is. We're putting in the time. The Lord is honoring our due diligence. It's not like you have to work for salvation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking that you do have to do your part, though. Remember the grounds that we talked about, and then I'll end on this. Those grounds have to be picked. They have to get all those weeds out. You have to get all those, the junk that would cause a plant not to grow. You have to keep it all cleaned. That's work. But that work doesn't make that seed grow. Only the Lord makes that seed grow. And we'll end with that. And as Wesley So says for the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. Lord willing, we'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll keep pushing forward for 2,800 and onward to greater things, honoring the Lord always, and keep pushing play and having a good time along the way, so that when we sit down and do over the board for rating points, we will be ready. So be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be doing an endgame course, so come back on our next lesson and join us to learn some endgames. We'll start at the very beginning, the basic understanding, and then we'll go from there. 2 thumbs up. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah. Be blessed, and always be a chess cruncher in every area of your life. Bye-bye. Be blessed.